Franklin Savage, a former Pocomoke City police officer, in the spotlight for making serious allegations against the Worcester County Criminal Enforcement Team, the City of Pocomoke, and Worcester County State's Attorney Beau Oglesby. Savage turned down our request for an on-camera interview, but his lawyers say he was unjustifiably branded a troublemaker and subject to very serious racial discrimination and a hostile work environment. He was fired from the force on October 26th.
Do you know why Savage was fired?
Those are questions best left for the City of Pocomoke. I have no supervisory responsibility of Frank Savage. I had no oversight of Frank Savage. So employment questions, you need to talk to the City of Pocomoke, to the Pocomoke City Police Department.
Pocomoke City Manager Ernie Crowfoot tells 47 ABC the city was obligated to terminate Savage's employment because he was reportedly unable to carry out a key duty of his job, testifying in court. Crowfoot claims the mayor received a letter from State's Attorney Beau Oglesby stating that he had issues with Savage's credibility.
Credibility issues ultimately have an impact, sometimes large and sometimes small, on a person's ability to testify. If there is an issue, I'm not speaking about Frank Savage specifically, I'm talking in generalities. If there is an issue of truthfulness, of credibility, then I am obligated to disclose that to defense counsel, and that will ultimately impact how we decide to proceed with a case.
Oglesby says Savage's integrity is questionable because of these documents. 2 complaints Savage submitted to the Maryland Attorney Grievance Commission. The first complaint, submitted in July 2014, alleges that Oglesby used the N-word repeatedly in his presence, freely and without care. Oglesby denies these accusations and believes the accounts of investigators and another attorney prove Savage's complaints are factually incorrect.
If a person submits a report to me that I know is false, well then I know that they have either done a false report or an inaccurate report, and in either respects, those are things that are now known to me that I am obligated to disclose.
Just to counsel.
To counsel.
But in his second letter to the commission, about a month and a half after the first complaint, Savage wrote, State's Attorney Beau Oglesby is stating that I am no longer needed for any of my cases where I am the charging officer. Now it seems like State's Attorney Beau Oglesby is letting these individuals whom I have charged go free to commit more crimes. I feel very disrespected and offended that I came to court and State's Attorney Beau Oglesby could not even talk to me about my cases. All of these occurrences are forms of retaliation against me due to my recently filing a federal EEOC complaint against State's Attorney Beau Oglesby.
What is your response to that?
It's not true. It's simply not true. That's my response. He alleged that, that I had dismissed cases that were actually still pending. Because the defendants had failed to appear and there were outstanding bench warrants. So he's jumping to a conclusion saying that a case is being handled differently when it actually was still pending.
The Attorney Grievance Commission concluded their investigation this time last year. This letter from a staff attorney to Savage confirms case closed. Despite this, the 3 EEOC complaints are still pending, and according to the agency website, the filings are considered confidential until the EEOC completes their investigation.
Is it safe to say that the information that is in the EEOC complaint is the same as the grievance that was filed against you?
The allegations are similar, yes.
Are they not word for word?
Well, Emily, I can't talk about the complaint. I can't.
A member of Savage's legal team also confirmed that the allegations in the complaints are similar. The difference, we are told, is in the wording, since the EEOC complaints have been amended since their initial filing in 2014. But Oglesby is just one target of these complaints. Savage's attorney, Andrew McBride, gave 47 ABC a list of the alleged abuses reportedly committed by members of the Worcester County Criminal Enforcement Unit while Savage was a member of the team from 2012 to 2014.
He said that he had incidents with other members of the team where he felt like he was being racially discriminated against. Had he ever at any point said, I do not feel comfortable working with the members of the Worcester County Task Force?
And he never said anything to me. Never said anything to anyone in this office.
Up until the moment you got notice either by the EEOC complaint?
Up until the moment that I got the attorney grievance notice, that was the first time I had any inkling, well, strike that. Frank had left the criminal enforcement team not long before that, so it was all about, on or about the same time that I became aware of any complaints that he had either with members of the criminal enforcement team or with me or anyone in this office.
Savage claims members of this 8-person unit subjected him to a hostile work environment and called him the N-word. He says they apparently drove him to a place where they allegedly said this is where the Ku Klux Klan used to hang the N-word people. He asserts that a member of the team placed a dead animal on his car and on his desk a food stamp with President Barack Obama's picture superimposed over it. Maryland State Police confirmed they did investigate Savage's claims and found that a state trooper on the criminal enforcement team reportedly sent Savage a text message using the N-word. A spokesperson for MSP tells 47 ABC investigators determined that it violated policy and took disciplinary action against this officer. The spokesperson would not give details about the punishment but did confirm the trooper no longer works for the Worcester County Criminal Enforcement Unit. We're also told MSP currently has no other open cases investigating the Pocomoke City Police Department. Savage resigned from the unit in June 2014, and about a month later, he filed the EEOC complaints. Between that time and now, 2 other police officers also filed EEOC complaints against the city of Pocomoke, Lieutenant Lionel Green and Kelvin Sewell, who lost his job as chief of the Pocomoke Police Department this past June.
My lawyer said I was fired because I refused to fire 2 African-American officers who filed the EEOC complaint. So to prove the case, they just terminated Franklin Savage's employment with the Pocomoke City Police Department.
Lieutenant Green is still employed with the department. Prior to Savage's termination, his attorney claims that Savage was, quote, bucked down to patrolmen, another form of retaliation, for filing the EEOC complaint. But City Manager Crowfoot says Savage could not have been demoted from detective to patrolman since the department does not give any officers this title of detective. He also tells 47 ABC Savage never suffered a loss of pay while he was employed. However, in terms of his termination, Crowfoot says it's clear why Savage was fired. They apparently couldn't continue to employ him if he couldn't be used in court. Since we couldn't speak directly to Savage, we asked Sewell how he is doing now.
None of us are doing well because we're not doing the thing that we love, being a police officer.